seems to be a start of a trend of slowly rising unemployment, but nothing major yet. Of course, if you look at the numbers behind the headline numbers, if you look at the details, it's not looking as good, but still the dual mandate. They seem to be pulling it off for the moment. The market is pricing almost, I think, 85% chance of a cut next week, which I think it should be a given now, unless we see something ridiculous like a massive jump in CPI today, which I don't think is going to happen. So the question is what happens afterwards? The cut in December now, and then what happens? Well, it's going to be data dependent, as they keep telling us. But for now, markets are relatively calm, and yields are, still the main driver for me. And remember when we were talking about this rejection, this zone up here of the 10-year around 445, 450. We traveled quite quickly back down below the 250 DMA, and there's quite a bit of work to be done here, with this big decision time. I still think that yields are going to resolve to the downside.
How
And I know,
far?
well, eventually I think this 360 low is going to get tested.
Okay.
So that's I think is a target. I know I am the minority in saying this, but I do think that the Fed is going to be cutting more than the market expects, and of course the only thing preventing them now from being more aggressive is inflation and jobs numbers not plummeting, and also risk assets still doing well. With the equity indices very close to all-time highs. You're not really going to be cutting aggressively. There's not that much rationale behind it, but
No emergency.
no emergency, exactly. The problem is that we know that with debt increasing at the pace that it's increasing, which is pretty fast, uh, you cannot afford to have high borrowing costs for a long time, because the percentage of revenues of the US and of every other country is becoming bigger and bigger to service the interest on the debt. So that's the problem. The Fed, the US needs to refinance the debt at lower levels. So that's why I think that rates are going to be easing lower, both the Fed funds rate and the longer end of the curve, because they have to. And unfortunately for the government, and I think the Fed, if all else fails, and I know again I'm the minority in saying this, I think if all else fails, the Fed's going to start buying debt again just to bring yields down, some kind of yield curve control. So anyway, this is more macro stuff, but for now. I think the 10-year yield is, obviously in an area here which is quite pivotal, and it's also a fib level. The previous lows down here was 415, so we are close. I think we're gonna eventually break below. Will it be today? Probably not, unless we get a very weak number. But that's my broad
So you
view.
you'd be buying bonds, you'd be buying notes, you'd be buying TLT.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be long TLT, and if we have a hot number, I'm actually thinking of fading a few things if it's stickier and the dollar pops. So,
Yeah.
any view on, say, for example, U.S. dollar yen? We had an 800 pip decline, and we're close to recovering half of it.
Yeah, the dollar yen is. I haven't traded it in ages. I really don't have a view on the dollar yen.
They're pretty tightly
It's
correlated, don't you think?
You're right. The problem is that we get from the Bank of Japan, we get 1 minute, oh, we might be hiking, and then the next minute it's something completely different. So,
Well, there was a lot
uh,
of headlines and good morning, Stelios
good
and
morning.
Dale. There was a
Hey,
lot of
Blake.
headlines that moved the yen last night that K-Man and Ryan have been talking about all day.
Well,
Yeah,
it's right into like, we're almost halfway back at 53, I think.
yeah,
So I mean I put a small piece on before CPI, and if we get up to above 53, I'll add on. Looks like Blake has a line. Oh, that's your line, still up around 54.
yeah.
It's an
That's a
interesting
long-term
line.
trend line.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah, and then they turn into eternal lines. Not eternal,
And
internal.
I will let Ryan and Kay talk about the yen because really it's not my cup of tea at all.
Uh,
I was cheering for you, Dale, when that headline came out and dollar yen traded down to 151, and then I was cursing for you when it went back up through 152.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't watch it. I just woke up to it. So yeah, and still, I mean, we've had a couple of down days in S&Ps. Still no reason
it's a
to
blip.
get short.
I
Blip.
have no technical evidence whatsoever. And
Well,
if you go back weeks and months on this show, I've been saying the same thing.
you've been right. Yeah,
There's no
don't
technical
fight it.
evidence. Exactly, and this it's very difficult to pick tops and bottoms. Some people are very good at it. I don't think I am. So as long as I don't see a signal or evidence of that, I'm not touching anything the other way. Do I think we should be chasing this higher? No, but if you tell me trade it, I would still go long here.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Where
Uh,
would your opinion change? Does it have to take out
we
that
have to
blue
take out
moving average?
that first. I think we have to go below 56.50, which is a long
Oh,
way
all the
from
way
here.
down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think these, this level around here, 56.50, 56.70 is an area of interest. And then obviously we have more below, but that's the first one. Before that, it's still higher highs, higher lows. So nothing changing in my opinion. And it's a similar thing for gold as well. Um, it's still a pretty strong move to the upside. Yes, we are consolidating sideways here, but again, nothing, no evidence of that, of anything bearish. Silver is different. It's not as bullish as gold yet. It's still trading within this kind of channel. Okay, there was a little breakout, false breakout. We're back into it, and we're in no man's land. I still like buying dips in silver. I still have my core long from way below, but I'm not touching that until we hit targets way above. So still looking to buy this probably on dips towards the low 30s, um, but nothing to do here yet.
Any
Uh,
view on oil? You used to cover oil quite a bit.
yeah, oops,
It's
not 10 yet. Yeah, oil I think is very precarious here. It's still close to these lows
yeah.
and it's coiling for months now, for a year. And I fear that this is going to go break to the downside. This can easily happen if we do get a general decrease in global economic activity, which if eventually we will get. And let's not forget also Donald Trump saying drill baby drill, and the OPEC led by the Saudis, they are looking
He was
to
talking about dental work.
yeah. So they will
It's
definitely
like
look to reduce cuts and increase supply basically. So I think this is getting very close to these levels. I mean, this range here, this area here between 62 and 60, 6 or 7 is absolutely massive. If that breaks, then really I don't know where we're going. We're going to the low 50s, I think. But
yeah.
one step at a time. So oil is close. Oil is actually
Yeah.
something I'm looking at because it is close to big levels.
Yeah,
And
you like those breakdowns and breakouts after huge ranges to go with.
yes, and you have to be patient. Another one is euro pound, 83 to 90. This has been the range for okay. There've been a few spikes, but really for the past 2.5 years, it's been 83 to 90, and we're now or 82 and a bit to 90 and a bit. So this is again at a level which is very important. And if anybody's bullish the euro, which is difficult to be at this moment, given everything that's happening. If you want to take a contrarian view on a on a pair, I think this is really good because you know where you're wrong. You take out these lows, that's it. So this is another pair which is close to a very important level, which on a risk reward might be good, provided that you have very tight stops and you're disciplined with them, because otherwise you can kiss your account goodbye. And the flavor of the month, Bitcoin is just a monster. I've been saying for weeks and months, I'm not trading this, but if you asked me, I would buy it until I get evidence that this is going to be reversing. And the problem I have with cryptos is that, uh, the actual use of them eludes me, apart from speculation and perhaps money laundering, but we can go through. We don't need to talk about that right now. But there's no actual other real use for it. So I find it very difficult to assign a value to it, or any intrinsic value. But again, this is something that institutional players have now adopted, and there's a lot of money piling into it. So it makes sense that it's gone up 100% within a year or so. So
Okay.
this is still looking bullish, and this is
Yeah.
like a sideways consolidation, which theoretically should lead to higher levels, but you never
Yeah.
know with these things.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys, we have CPI and we have Bank
Yeah.
of Canada coming up today, and there's a lot of risk between those two. I want to start really preparing for this data that's going to come out. Stelios, it was great having you here. But Dale, I'm going to take the screen if you don't mind.
No, yeah, Stel has it.
I passed it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, Stelios, it's really nice to always have you here. And like I said, today is going to be a big day, and we've seen a lot of big moves overnight. I think a lot of traders woke up this morning wondering what the hell happened with the dollar. I mean, we had a multitude of things happen overnight. If you're not caught up with it, first and foremost, you had a big move in China. And Ryan, you were talking about this on the Flow show. What did China do that caused the US dollar CNH to kick off this move in the dollar?
Yeah, well, we had a sources piece from the PBOC, which is quite unusual. They don't tend to do direct sources pieces, basically saying that they may weaken the currency to offset any Trump tariffs. Some talking about letting it weaken to 7.5, which would be massive. And that obviously took the market by surprise this morning. We saw that big jump, 725 to 729s. It's a shot across the bows. We've heard a lot from Trump about what he's going to do. We've not had that much from China, and this is their response really of what they could do. So we've got an escalation in threat rhetoric, and that's probably going to be in place now between now and when Trump takes the hot seat.
And that's a little currency war action going on. And when I woke up, I thought originally it was the BOJ that made the move first. And this is the US dollar CNH. This is the US dollar Japanese yen. So you're talking, I don't know, an hour later, the BOJ comments come out and create this move in the yen. The dollar yen spikes higher, and that's what Dale was referencing a little bit earlier. So what happened there? And let's hear from K-Man really quick. What did the BOJ say that moved the market as aggressively as it did? Because we dropped to 151, the figure, and then we bounced 170 there.
Market completely misread the comments first. Apparently, seems like it's a Bloomberg story, so to be taken with the necessary caution. But it seems that the Bank of Japan officials said that they see little cost to waiting before raising interest rates. And that comes on the back of that article that we had already yesterday saying that Bank of Japan is planning an important speech in January ahead of the next meeting. So makes the market think that they may not move this month, okay? Data are still okay for them to move, but those articles sending a few shivers through the yen markets. And beat me, I don't know why they first sold it off to 151 before ramping higher.
Well, so this sets up something precarious ahead of the CPI, because if the CPI data comes in line, maybe it's a little hot. Maybe and I guess the numbers that we'd be looking at today. I mean, if we saw, the month over month core and headline number, market's expecting 0.3% on both. If they came in at 0.4%, the dollar yen is the clear trade, in my opinion. It's a clear trade to be in and to trade. I mean, I think we could trade up to 154 today. I mean, that would be a hell of a move, but I mean, it's already got a kickstart. Wouldn't you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Right.
If the number is really hot, I don't know what's going to stop dollar yen really, because that means that the Fed doubt is persisting between cutting and pausing, and and now what post those articles, the weak side of dollar yen will be higher.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, it looks like the dollar yen's, gonna make it all the way up to 154. I'd actually be I'd be not so excited about shorting the dollar yen, although yields would come down if CPI came in. Let's just say it came in line. That wouldn't be the trade that I'd want to play. I'd actually still want to play sterling. I think sterling still looks good here, and it still looks pretty well bid. Stelios, you were just talking about the euro pound, how it's coming down. I mean, you look at sterling on the crosses, it looks great. I mean, look at how euro kiwi, we're almost at the 161% extension. You can see it. We've been looking at it literally for all week as a bull flag pattern. You can see how it's been set up. There's a 4-hour chart. There's a daily chart. We're looking for it to move past 222, but pound looks great on the crosses. Why is that, Stelios? Why do you think the cable's holding up so well?
What do I think the pound is holding up so well overall?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Ryan, what do you think? I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's ask the Brit in the room. So, what do you think, Ryan?
What as to where this one's going? Yeah, this one's all swinging around with the dollar, so you've got to put it in the same basket as all the others. With that's Aussie dollar, Kiwi, and everything else. All dollar pairs are looking a bit creaky at the moment, but as has been the case pretty much for the last few months, cable seems to be the one that is a bit more sticky and not quite as willing to head back down again. So, it's.
Do you think it's because you guys don't make anything over there and tariffs aren't going to be an issue for you? I'm joking, but half joking. I'm just kidding. But do you think it's? I think the UK is somewhat insulated from tariff threats. Maybe that's it.
Hey, Blake.
We should be.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. What's up, Coach?
Oh, I just wanted to know when the love coverage was going to begin. Because you said on Twitter that the love coverage begins in 10 minutes. I keep waiting for it.
Typos.
Everyone,
typos when you get up at 3 in the morning.
Here we go.
Buddy.
I love you, man. Ryan,
I just realized I did type.
Hey,
I did write that. You know what? I can
love?
edit that. I think
hey, give me some love, you guys. This is our love coverage. All right.
Live. I don't care.
No, I like
live love.
We do it with love. We give compelling, actionable ideas that people do away from us, and we give it away, and that's love. So we have love coverage every day.
That's true love. True love. All right.
Give. Sorry.
Sorry, you knocked me off kilter there. Let's go around. I'm gonna ask Ryan really quick. I'm gonna hit all you guys, even Stelios. So you better come up with an answer because you don't answer me when I ask this question. Today we have CPI coming out, and we haven't talked about the Bank of Canada, by the way, and price. Market's expecting 50 basis points, and I don't think that's a slam dunk. We'll come into that here in a second. But let's talk CPI. Ryan, what do you think is the best setup for CPI? How are you going to tackle it? I mean, it's coming out in 9 minutes. How are you going to trade it?
Good question. Very good question. Because this is really a decider for the Fed. So it's going to be a decider for the dollar. I don't know what I'm going to trade in it, to be honest with you. I think the way dollar yen is at the moment, if we get a dip, if it's a soft number and we get a dip, that's probably going to be a dip that gets bought. Now we've got this Bank of Japan news for as long as that lasts. So that would be my theme for the CPI.
Okay, K-Man, what are you thinking? CPI. What are you looking for?
Okay. To me, as I said in the various rooms, trying to keep it simple. If CPI beats, Euro and antipodians look very weak. If CPI fails, I think cable and gold rally.
Okay, and that's fair enough. I mean, gold looks pretty damn. I know I mentioned this in the chat room. By the way, if you guys are not in the chat room, this is one of the things. If you Like this is my comment about gold this morning. Where is it? Oh, here you go. You know, gold's holding up really well, even with the dollar rally that we've seen. And the range extension takes us back to 27.20. So, you know, I'm with K-Man here. I mean, if that number comes in a little weak, gold should stretch above 2,700. I'm with you on that. And guys, if you're not in the Forex Analytics chat room, this is, you know, what it looks like and charts that people are updating, and you know the comments and side conversations that we're having about all, you know, everything that's moving the market. And you know, make sure you're in our community. It's $1 for 10 days to try it out. All right. One of the other things that I'm just gonna say this just because we're talking about CPI. I hope we get a hot number. We get a hot number. This dollar CAD is going to rip higher, in my opinion, and it's going to rip higher to, let me get rid of this one. It's going to rip higher to this 142.35, and which is 127% extension of two levels. It's the 127% extension of this whole range from the top of 2000, or the highs of 2022 to the lows of 2023. That comes in at 142.35. It's also the 127% extension of just the most recent dip. So that comes in at 142.35. We poke our head up there. I'm going to sell it because I think the market is pricing in 50 basis points of cuts today, which is a pretty hefty jumbo cut. And if they don't deliver it because inflation's been pretty hot over there, we have a risk of the dollar CAD trading all the way back down to 141 following the Bank of Canada today. So that's what I want to see on a strong number. I'll talk about what I want to see on a weak number after I ask Stelios what he'd be looking for, and same with Dale for CPI.
Yes.
So Dale, what are you, or Stelios, what are you thinking for CPI? And I want an answer.
Yes.
I don't want to hear
Yeah, I've
I'm
got an
long
answer.
term. I
I've
don't
got
look
an
at
answer for
anything
you.
like that. Give us something to chew on today.
Oh, I like things that are at critical levels, right? So I think dollar CAD on a strong number is spot on. On a weak number, I like my favorite, one of my favorite pairs. Yes, dollar Norway, you were there. Have a look at dollar
Yes.
Norway on a daily, and obviously we are very close to these highs. And on a daily, we're on a 1-year trend line. So this is this is a pretty big level we are here. So on a weak number, I think this is going to be moving quite a bit to the downside.
Do you want to hear my comments on the US dollar Norwegian krona this morning? I'm so
I
pissed
haven't
off.
seen them.
This
There you go.
I said, of course, last night is the only night, literally all week, I didn't put in a short order at 11.20, 11.20. And I've shorted the US dollar Norwegian krona off of this resistance multiple times over the last couple of weeks. And last night I'm like, it's CPI. I don't want to put out I don't want to put out an order. And of course, we literally hit it like you know, I mean, to the pip and then reverse. But I like it, Stelios, on a weak number. I know you've been a Norway bull for a long time, and maybe today's its day, right?
Maybe you have to pick the right entry levels. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Dale, what do you think? CPI.
On a hot number, I'll put more yen out over 53. Maybe
You want to sell yen at 153. Are you still bearish? I know you were bearish some tech stocks in equities, and the S&P has come down to that 60-30 level, and I can't remember what tech stocks were you short, or you're short in Nvidia and something else?
Yeah, Nvidia, and I got run over on Google yesterday. They have a quantum chip, so Nvidia still looks shittier. And
did you say
Google,
Nvidia still looks in shittier?
it looks it looks shitty, like it's in shittier. And
Yeah.
Google left some type of big gap there, so yeah, it's semiconductors are still the weakness.
Got it.
And I wouldn't be buying Mag 7s.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, S&P is still holding up pretty well, but man, I tell you, if we break this 60-30 level, that's going to open up some downside. That'd be on a strong print today. I think if CPI came in hot, S&P is going to feel some heat too. So, because
maybe they're not going to wait for the market's not going to wait for when people are ready to sell, which is next year.
Right.
So we'll see.
Well, on weak data, I'm also with K-Man. It's the only position I have on right now is sterling long. So I actually want to add to it long. I think pound's going to 130 eventually. It's the inverted head and shoulder pattern is going to take us towards 130. So I want to add to my longs. I've been sitting in this thing literally since last week. So and doing well with it. It hasn't given back much. I took all my other positions off last night, fortunately, and that's how I want to play weak data. So strong data, I'm shorting dollar CAD. Weak data, I'm going to get long sterling, more sterling. Let me ask really quick while I get set up, Ryan, how do you feel about the Bank of Canada today? Because the market is expecting 50 basis points of cuts.
Yeah, we are expecting a 50. I think there's a greater risk that they go at 25.
Me too.
If they go at 50, then potentially they might signal a pause straight away rather than doing a slowdown. So I don't see, unless if they're really dovish, then obviously Looney continues to rocket. But we might see the brakes being put on. But I think the market is underpricing the prospect of a 25.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. K-Man, how do you feel about that as I get set up here?
Well, that's what I said exactly yesterday. Yeah. The risk is they do 25 just out of psychological considerations.
And you've been talking a lot about like central banks being a little bit easier, but kind of saving their powder for Trump, right?
That's what I think. That's what I think, and because also they will be considering the fact since they don't know what the Fed is going to do, perhaps they will have a clue with the CPI right now. But their decisions should already be made, I guess. But yeah, I mean, get a strong CPI and a 50 BPs. Where is the cat going? 145? I mean, it's probably going to destroy the Canadian dollar.
Yeah, sorry, I did not mean to just
So
do
I
that.
think they will err on the side of caution.
Got it. Well, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And so let's keep an eye on the US. I got to get all my screen. By what I just did, made all my windows come down, and not what I wanted to do. Anyway, hey, we got just how much time do we have?
A minute.
10 seconds. 10
seconds. All right, 10 seconds. The data's coming out. All right, guys, get ready. We have yields on the left, dollar index in the middle, and S&P over here to the right. What do we got?
In line.
Boring. All right. Oh, look at the S&P is ripping. Stocks are on fire, and the dollar's it sold off initially, but looks like the dollar might take off here. To the downside, that is. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. All right. How do you guys feel about that? What's your instant feeling? Instant feeling of gratification? You want to pee your pants? What's going on? Ryan, how do you feel about this data that just came out? I mean, the yields are dropping, dollars dropping, stocks are rallying. Does this give the green light to the Fed? Okay. Looks like he's not going to.
It's definitely not bad news. That's the thing, right? For the Fed.
Right. All right. K-Man, how do you feel about this?
I've put my findings in the chat room.
All right. Great. Keep it there. And I think the inline print just opens the door for the Fed. Just opens it up, and they can
just confirms.
Yeah, it just confirms they're gonna give us a cut. Now, whether that makes next week that much more important, in my opinion, because we got to see how wide the door they open to 2025. But in line with expectations, some people were expecting hot, so I think that the dollar could indeed. By the way, I didn't add any to my cable yet. I haven't done anything just yet. So I'm just kind of sitting here, not doing anything. But stocks are ripping. Bitcoin's at highs. Ryan, we missed your comments. Did you have any comments?
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's them going at 25, but I think probably with a pause warning next week because inflation has gone up and it stayed sticky in the core, so it's not going down, and that's what they wanted to see.
All right. Yeah. So there we go. All right. Well, I'm not doing anything on that headline number, but I definitely don't want to. I don't want to be long dollars at this moment, especially with the euro so close to 105. Dale, is your interview here?
Yes, Nargis is here.
Oh, Nargis is here. Okay, I didn't see in the attendees. So, guys, gals, I want to say if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Forex Analytix, be in the chat room with us. We actually had some newcomers this last week that are in there just chatting away, posting charts, and I love that. That's what we do. We're in there chatting all day long about the markets. So come join us. $1 for 10 days. Download the mobile app, get all these tools here on Forex Analytix, the live squawk feed, all the analysis, 30 different instruments. We don't just cover currencies, we cover crypto, we cover stocks, we cover boons, you name it. So come check us out. All right, Dale, it is all yours. Thanks, Stelios, for being here. Thanks, Ryan K-Man. And thank you, Coach, as always.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers all.
Don't come to a knife fight without a gun. All right? That's my advice. And, we'll get you registered here. Okay? So great to have Nargis coming back. Nargis and I are having a date this morning. So Nargis, how are you? Great to have you
Hey,
back with
Dale.
us. Yeah,
Hi,
so
good morning, everyone.
you and I usually talk right before there's a reaction to the downside in S&Ps.
And I feel there could be a change in the trend now, Dale.
Wow.
We
Okay.
got the pullback 2 days
Yeah,
ago, and yesterday it closed at the oversold levels, and today we are getting the rip up. It's still not great in terms of the move, but still, a slow move would be okay. So who knows? From now on, we'll be buying calls.
Okay. Okay. So change in, a day or two. You're never going to know if it's an important high till you look backwards anyway.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
So if you want to share your screen, we can
Yeah.
take a look at your levels and a lot of people talking about the 59.30 level, 35 level for that needs to be taken out to get some acceleration.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I have the parabola on it. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So yeah, I remember last meeting also we mentioned let's do this because that we had mentioned 59.29
Yes.
and so 59.20. I mean overall 5,900 to 6,300 is the bigger zone I was looking at to what it will decide. And it has been pretty resilient, as we have seen, no decent pullback along the way, and it keeps, nudging along. So these are the numbers I was looking, and we are right here, 6085, and it's kind of trading below it. But now if it captures back again, then the next question would be, would it try to go towards this? Your new contract, the March contract is already hit 6163, right? So
okay.
So this one is already hit 6163, and so now since it is squad witching, we watch the current contract and the future contract, and they dance in a very good coordination, and they follow the numbers very well.
Okay, what are those two horizontal lines if you go back there?
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So
these were okay. I'm in a quarterly. That's why because that gives a better idea.
Yeah.
So this was a small consolidation before it ripped higher, right? So and this came and tested it back, but suppose 6200 6300 fails, then what are we looking at? Because a lot of area gets exposed, right?
Yeah.
And as far as gaps are concerned, XPX has gaps way below. I mean, a lot of gaps. It's very holy. There are a lot of holes in there. And
where's the first one? Where's the first one?
First one is 5973, I think, if I'm not wrong.
So it would be on a, okay, there you go. That's a chart with the gaps. All right, so
Yeah.
we filled
So
one.
yeah, 57.73 or something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
57.83, sorry. There, and teensy bit is here. I mean, it's very, very small, and this is already filled. So this would be your first area, and it's an island reversal.
Yeah.
And these are generally, pretty, what do you call, vulnerable things, in my opinion, and they do get filled at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if
the
this,
election gap.
yeah, yes, 57.83, November 5, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very clean. See, it came all the way till here 58.60, but it never, so this island is anomaly right here. And let's say December is all okay, and then January, the new office is getting done, White House. So January, half of January, or at least January is okay. So I'm thinking maybe we get something end of March where all the earnings and everything is done. February, March, that could expose a vulnerable time, and it all depends on when 62.43 gets done, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. So this isn't a top. You're embracing the narrative that the market's okay until next year, which I think is pretty universal. At least, you know what one thing that keeps popping into my mind is that the bulls haven't gotten out because they think it's a layup into January, and
yes,
the bears haven't gotten short. They would have, based upon their
yeah.
numbers 4 months ago, but now that we're close to their numbers, they're all raising levels where they would sell it from 61 to 64. So universally, except for the commercials, I don't hear anyone talking about a correction before next year. Do you?
Yeah, and that would be a surprise, Dale, because when the whole narrative is similar, then it's a surprise. It always happens. That's why I always go with my numbers. So this was your high and this was your low, 34.91, right?
Yeah.
And then 47.70 was where was 47.70? I think
Yeah,
here.
that green line.
Yeah,
One more up.
so
Green line.
yeah, and that was around approximately 1,300 points. And if you add it, you get your price where we are currently, and it's where it's roaming around, right? 6050, 6085, and level wise 6085 is where I'm watching. Above it, good chance to get that 62, 6300 done. And it is getting very heavy on the monthly basis. So if any sell has to come, in my opinion, it will come very surprising. It will be a surprise move, and we'll get nice 200, 300 points sell off just like that, out of the blue, and that's where it will release the pressure, because when the monthlies get heavy, that's where we start seeing the squeezing on the daily, right? Where price keeps going up, stopping out all the shorts, short covering everything. There's a whole drama out there, and then when everybody tries to give up, it tries to puke back.
Well, I don't
So
think
that's why
anyone's short. I mean, who's short
no,
besides
but
commercial?
I am, yes, but I am trying to accumulate a little bit of XPX along the way as it goes up. Not for immediate pullback. I mean, XPXS is not something which gives returns for pullbacks. It gives returns for corrections, right? So it's currently now 5.7, I think. So and that's a hedge, right? So I'm hedging, and I'm okay to keep it for a year or 2 years, if that's the case. But
Okay.
I, I
Yeah,
heard,
you're talking about the bearish ETF. Is that a triple?
yeah, yes. It's
Okay.
a
Are they going to reverse split that thing? Because
3x.
sometimes when they get too
They
cheap,
do. When the price goes 5 or under 5, they
yeah,
reverse it. That,
yeah,
I mean, UXY also do that. And remember, we talked our cycle target is 7569, so that is still on point. But the only question is how it gets there, right? Because these straight lines, they generally take what do you call, a breather,
Boy,
right?
is that a
See here.
base? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where your previous top was, and the cycle was around here, but it ripped 1/4 cycle above it, and then it puked, made kind of a bull flag, and now we are seeing this. So around 62, 41, or I'm just, it's not 41. We can go with a whole number between 62 to 6,300. Who's to say it won't do the same thing, come back and test some, base, and then go back up. So I'm just being an open in mind and trying to get it, because sustaining the straight lines never ends well in the end.
Okay.
So
Any other outside markets you want to share with us today?
yeah,
Like
definitely. I
dollar?
will. Yes,
What do
I'll
you
do
got?
that. I have it. And a lot of people actually have asked about NVIDIA, so I am doing it.
Who
So I had
asked?
some,
Because they
yeah.
already know where it's going. They've heard me.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So who
then yeah,
asked you? Who asked about
people
NVIDIA?
DM,
I'm
just talk
kidding you.
about this. Yeah,
I'm
talk
kidding
about
you.
this or that. Semi, people, because semi is one thing, people who are like, still wanting the meme, but unfortunately it is stuck in a rut, 137 to 153, or rather 145. It's not able to go above. The only reason is there is no space here to go up, and that's why we have these spikes, and consistently it is holding, and if it is staying below 141 on a monthly basis, then it is bearish, and with just matter of time, it may want to puke back to the lower levels. We have 120 to 114, and the lower numbers I had was 83. But then that's the correction zone, right? When we have a correction, it happens. But as long as your 137 is holding, it will still try to go above. And then your next zone is 145 and 150. Above 153, it will show some good move. But till then, it is just not doing anything. So, same with SMH, a lot of spikes because it doesn't have any space. So probably this move is big. So probably it's trying to do that bull flaggy kind of thing. So probably lower or sideways too much. And I know you asked Dixie, and this is where we are stuck at the purple line, 106-ish.
Yeah.
So it's there. And once it is over this trying, and a lot of areas exposed till 111. All right. So 109 to 111 is exposed, and lower is 103 to 100. It never broke that 100. It kept, bouncing. And now it is on this end. So it came down
Okay. How about TLT?
1, 2, 3, TLT. TLT, poor thing, 97 is not getting a break, right? It goes to 97, comes back down, and looks like this kind of holding.
Yeah,
So,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Like an
yeah.
ascending triangle.
So either below 93 or above 97, then you have 109 to 116. Lower again, this 82, I think it's coming back from this. I think it doesn't want to do a new low. So it's still in this between green and purple and trying to do that. But if it wants to go up, above 97, there's a lot of area to be covered here. A lot of supply on the left side, but still a lot of area to cover on the upside. So that is there. And of course, your gold is here, 2,700. So 2710 or 2705. If it's over it, your next big hurdle was 2809, and that's where it puked last time. I think, what was the high? 2801, 2802. So approximately similar this thing, and fantastic run. See, the more it does this, the powerful the move is, right? So we have a few things doing this, and if they do it, so this is where I had it going, the red line, 3100 or so, 3052, 3150, in that range. And again, it is going a little bit sideways, at least 3 months of sideways. At least it's and it's trying to maintain your 2670 or 20, yeah, the body basically. The body is around the same height. The high of the body is same, around 2660, and the low of the body of these three candles is around there. So that's the area it likes, 25, 2650, 2670. And as long as it's holding, it will try to keep going up. So that's there. And our dear Elon Musk, this was a fantastic thing. I don't know if you saw my video about the election, how I predicted the move based on the Tesla pricing. And this was your purple line, broke out 289, and now just under 5 points. It's already at 409 something. So under 5 points remaining to hit the high of 415.5. My cycle target is 625, here. But it'll take its own sweet time. First order of business, take out this high, then 440, then how it performs there. So on monthly, we see two big candles up. It could have the third candle for that three soldiers.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, who's to say it can't do it, right?
Yeah.
These days we only have memes, right? We don't do small moves.
That's true.
So this was
hell of a
yeah. So yeah, this was your. I was wondering why these candles are like this. What are they trying to say? And 214 was my very important number. As long as it was above it, I was expecting it to hit this close to all-time high. Basically, 361 is your line in the sand for now. Below
Another
361, it
island.
is weak.
Look at all the
Yeah.
islands we have. And
Yes.
you know what? Next time you see chart action like that,
Yeah.
think of this expression: never sell a sleeping market, because it must have looked comatose for a week.
Yes, that's
Okay,
absolutely true.
So
Yeah.
you just keep that in mind. Markets bottom in silence and top with violence.
Yes, they are very loud. They are very loud when everyone is telling you, "Hey, you're not buying the stocks, you're not buying BTC, you're crazy." That's when you say, "Okay, you know what? I need to step back." And when there is a lot of fear, people are like, so it tries to do the opposite. And so this is your line in the science, 361. Below this, there is weakness. Above this, it will still try to go. And then 440 is my zone. If it takes it all-time high, 414.5, then looking for 440 and what it does around here. Between this, let me put it here, this line. So what it does between these two lines is where we will know the next move. And this is your all-time high, 414. And so between these three lines, what kind of a move we get? Tesla is also getting very heavy. The bearish divergence hasn't gone. As the price is moving, the bearish divergence is still there. It's getting a little bit stronger. So if you are playing options, then I would definitely keep booking or keep rolling them out just to protect the gains. So that is there.
Okay.
So and one of the things I was noticing is your CL, right? So 69.35, 69.4, it is hovering around there, okay? And that's a very important number on a weekly basis, okay? So as long as it's hovering around here and doesn't go below, so if it stays here and it's a conclusive stay, then there's a lot of weakness in the oil going towards 50. But it's around here and tries to go back, then the oil is also rising. So we have everything rising, kind of, right? Dollar is up, gold is up, this is up, that is up. So all that is there. So somebody has to give in, right? Because
yeah, it's been sideways range for a long time. You want to wrap it with with Bitcoin?
Yes, sir.
See what your numbers are above it.
Yes. So I was looking for around 111. If it is above, staying over 97, and then it keeps trying it. So if that is the case, then I will look around 111 to see it. It did 103, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 103 something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of euphoria comes in, and the whole Twitter is like, okay, 200 is coming, that is coming. But for the thing is, before anything big comes, how it is going there, the journey matters, and that's where a lot of bag holders are created. So once
I
a
like
big
that.
crossover is, once a big crossover is happened, we need to make it stay. That's the most important thing. And if it's a rush job, then that's where the trap comes in. So it's very important to, let it hammer it enough and then go see, oh wow. So this is how it is above this purple and below this purple, and that's it's a very simple thing for now, above 100 or below 100, and it's a very see this is so many thousand. This is a 40,000 candle, right?
Yeah.
So 40,000 should mean something. It's above. It's at the ceiling. So who's to say a couple of months won't be sideways, right? Or
Yeah.
it'll
Good.
hit 111 or a little bit, let's give it a quarter, 125, okay? Who's to say,
Okay.
what's going to happen, and this candle needs to be adjusted at some point. So it's there. So yeah, so
Okay.
there's a lot of, but my cycle target, if, I mean, fundamentally BTC is a, if it is a real asset, not asset, whatever it is, but if this meme action, it's definitely a meme. People are definitely interested. People are definitely making money. So if this continues, then my next cycle target is around 185. So between 175 and 200. So who's to say it won't do that? The only thing is, for me, for BTC trading, if anybody does it, is how you're protecting your gains, because it's in thousands. And if you're getting in at the highs, then your stop losses matter. If you're getting here, then it's very good. If you're getting here, very good. If you're getting here, then you have some room to protect yourself. But if you're trying to do it here, that's a very catchy thing. So just stay safe. Anything
Okay.
else
Well,
you
then
want me to cover?
you want to stay safe? Close your account.
Yeah, definitely. But there is a time to buy and there is a time to sell. So if you're
Yeah.
doing the
Okay.
opposite, then that's a problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's trading is and safe are incongruent.
Yes, definitely. I mean, nobody with a weak heart can be in this stock market, because you're directly
Yeah.
playing with money. You're directly playing with your emotions. The whole
Yeah.
question the other day I was talking about is, you can analyze and paralyze and do everything. That means you
Yeah.
have a high IQ, but the emotional stability, the EQ, is needed to be in the game,
You're
right?
right.
And
Yeah. It's
also
all in
do
the
the
head.
right moves. Yeah, be in the game and do the right moves. That's where money is made. So if you're
All
here to
right.
make money, then raise your EQ, emotional quotient, raise your vibrations, have a sound
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. I
Yes.
love that line. It should be your new tagline. I know I'm
Yes.
sticking my nose into it. The journey matter. The journey matters
Yes,
by
the journey
Nargis
matters.
Motorola. Because you know what?
Yes.
If you get picked off on the journey, you're not there for the destination.
Yes, definitely. You need to be in the race.
Yeah. So that's your
Yeah.
new tagline. I expect it up on X by the close
Okay.
of business today.
Thank you so much, Dale, and it's always
I'm
a
kidding
pleasure.
you. Yeah, good numbers, and I could tell you're becoming more confident as time goes on,
Yes.
and that's what happens. That you can't be lazy. You have to put in
Yeah.
the time, and
Yeah.
everyone that's watching this and sees it later can tell that Nargis doesn't slough it off. She's into her charts. Who knows how many hours a day? Her son probably gets jealous of her charts. That's all I can say. Is
Yeah.
that possible?
I'm trying to.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to teach him, right? My son.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a 17-year-old, and he thinks he rules the world. He knows everything. I
oh,
mean, the
okay.
confidence these kids have, it's like,
Yeah.
literally, I am ready to pull my hair. But yeah, so
Let him trade and
I
get his teeth kicked out for a couple grand. That'll humble
damn,
him.
he's going to use my money only, right?
Tell him to go live. Son, go live. You're ready. And then
I know. I'll do
watch
that.
his attitude change.
I know.
Mom,
I'll do that. Yes, I know.
mommy, I lost my money.
I know. He's going to do that, and
All
more
right.
than that, I mean, with time, they'll understand. But the
Yeah,
confidence the younger generation has is
yeah,
out of this world, and
yeah, I know.
hopefully, we get a better world with them.
Hey, you know what? Hope is the oxygen of life. Just
Yes.
don't use it in your trading plan.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and Nargis, always great to talk to you. I had a great time on our date, and
Yes.
I'll see you again. You know, we have a long distance in time relationship. I'll see you in
Yes.
March.
Yes,
I'm sorry
definitely. See you in.
We're gonna miss Valentine's Day, but I'll see you in March.
Oh yeah, our Valentine is when we meet, you know. As they
Oh,
say,
okay.
the line starts where we are standing. So
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, but I love that line that the journey is important.
the
So
journey is important. Yes.
yeah,
The managing the emotions is important. Raise your EQ. I mean, not just in trading, in life.
great talking to you, and thanks for
You
sharing.
too.
All
Yes,
right,
Dale.
Nargis,
See you.
follow Nargis. I'll tell him Max at Nargis Motor 007, and that's two
Yeah.
R's on
Yes, sir.
Nargis, and NARR. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's got a website now.
Yes, sir.
And let's see it.
nmstockcycles.com.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, and
All
have a
right.
great day, great trading, and
Yeah.
happy holidays.
Same to you, Nargis. Thank you very
Same to you.
much. All
Yeah.
right, that's a wrap. You guys like Nargis? She's good, isn't she? Keep up the hard work. Laura likes her. All right, so that's a wrap, everyone. Join the team. Join. Hi, Manish. Take a trial. I'll refund your money if you don't like it. I'll send you $1. And don't forget, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios, everyone. See you tomorrow. Okay, adios. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings.